Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we can finally begin our faction focus videos on the new factions added in for the Twisted and the Twilight DLC. And of course, I wanted to start off with Throt the Unclean, the master mutator of Clan Moulder, because, well, Skaven bias. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time and jump right in. In the Mortal Empires campaign, you'll obviously begin in Hell Pit, Clan Moulder's base of operations. Later on through the video, we'll cover anything of interest in regards to the Eye of the Vortex, but for the majority of the mechanics, I'll be showing off everything through the Mortal Empires. Now, you start at war with the Norse dwarfs of Drak. Your faction capital, Hell Pit itself, is very defendable, a one settlement province which already starts off at level 2 and, well, you don't really have too many enemies around you. At the beginning of the campaign, your only real threat is the Norse dwarves, where Kislev, who do surround you in truth, aren't really too much of a threat. And the surrounding Chaos Northmen factions could prove to be valuable allies if you so wish. Your unique faction effect is known as Splice, Mutate, Multiply, Destroy, which gives you the following bonuses. Suitable climate for frozen territories, has access to the Clan Moulder Flesh Laboratory, which we'll explore later on in this video, hit points plus 10% for all characters, immune to mountain attrition, and finally, construction cost minus 50% for breeding stock, pits of the Packmasters, force feeding chambers, and laboratory buildings. Throt's unique faction trait is Lord of Hell Pit, which gives you the following bonus. Upkeep minus 20% for Wolf Rats, Rat Ogres, Mutant Rat Ogre, Brood Horror, and Hell Pit Abomination units in his own army. He'll also have the ability Beast Pack, which will allow him to summon in a unit of Rat Ogres. Master Controller is a passive ability, which will boost up the leadership and melee defense of not only himself but any allies in range. He'll also have access to regeneration, and finally armor plus 10 for Wolf Rats, Rat Ogres, Mutant Rat Ogres, Brood Horrors, and Hell Pit Abomination units within his own army. The majority of Throt's skills are as expected, no need to discuss the basic branches, however he does have a unique branch, which is quite varied in terms of benefits, both to himself, his faction, and also his specific units. Master of the Mutated is by far the most impressive one, as it heavily benefits all monsters in Throt's armies and can make them extremely impressive. He's also got access to two unique weapons, Creature Killer and the Whip of Domination, both well known in the lore, but what's also interesting is that Throt himself can ride a Brood Horror, so while the big man is slow on foot, you can make him quite a fast and dangerous lord on a mount. Rather disappointingly, Throt has no unique rights, which is a massive shame, but that can also be attributed to the fact that he's got his own unique mechanics. The technology tree has also been affected, adding in some more benefits for Clan Moulder monsters. This will also come into effect for all other Skaven factions. You'll also notice two new resources, the first being Growth Vat, where you will have to acquire Growth Juice. Growth Juice can be acquired in a number of ways, recycling units, buildings, passive gain, and even in battle. It's a resource which you'll gain more as you play your campaign, so you might not even notice it filling up too much. But as you gain more and more growth juice, you'll be able to unlock unique pseudo-regiments of renown. It's very much inspired by the Blessed Spawnings, however the more growth juice you get, the more units you can unlock. Eventually you'll get so much that it will tick over, and you'll automatically gain access to a limited number of these units. You may have noticed the other resource, Mutagen. Mutagen is gained by building up these growth fats, and this resource can be used in a number of ways. You can use Mutagen to augment your troops, not just your monsters but your baseline infantry too. Here you can mix and match provided you've unlocked the bonuses of course, and you can create your own beasts or your own infantry. For example, do you want to make your storm vermin cause terror, but also do much more damage in close combat? Well, now you can. However, you have to take into account that Clan Moulder's flesh shaping can be very volatile, and as you upgrade your units, there's also a chance they might become unstable. They'll still have their bonuses and benefits, yes, but they'll also start taking damage on the battlefield, as these creatures can no longer hold the augmentations placed upon them. Now, the reason why Clan Moulder has no unique rights is because they have access to Flesh Lab upgrades. These are various bonuses that they can use for a certain period of time, very much like their own version of rights. Some of them will only last for a few turns, but there are others which are also permanent. Their resource cost will vary. Of course, the more beneficial ones will cost more, and there is a bit of a food dump here, but generally if you're playing smart, you won't lack for food whatsoever. The Packmaster is a new playable hero character, who is a hybrid melee/buffer unit. He's not there to be up close and personal in the battlefield, but rather just behind the monsters of Clan Moulder. Of course, if you want to make him more aggressive, you can also mount him up on a brood horror, but generally the Packmaster's there to buff up monsters and even summon up some extra ones. As explained before, there are multiple levels to the growth vat, and you can cash out whenever you please. For example, here on screen right now, where I'd filled the first level of the growth vats and I realized that I wanted some extra units. Rather than spending a turn recruiting units, I could easily just empty my vat and get these new mutated units. That way, should Cracker-Drac attack me, I'd be prepared with some extra bodies. A few extra bodies means that the dwarfs of Cracker-Drac will be unlikely to attack me. Now, there's also an interesting mechanic that comes into play here. You'll notice that in my army I have access to some units which are unstable. Right now I want to keep them in my forces. However, when I might not have need for them anymore, rather than simply disbanding them, I can recycle them and get some growth juice back from it. If you're curious as to how you'll gain access to Gorich, the Castellan of Hellpit, all you simply need to do is complete the mission for the Whip of Domination, after which he'll instantly join your forces. Now, of course, early on, this might be a difficult fight. There's a lot of Chaos Warriors to fight against, so you need to be prepared. Don't go directly in and take your time, he's not going anywhere. Gorich's unique trait is that of Castellan of Hellpit, which increases the charge bonus by 8 of the hero's army, the leadership by 5 of the hero's army, and also grants him Evisceration, an absolutely powerful bound ability. In terms of skills, Gorich has a decent amount of buffs which he can bestow on the army he joins, whereas some focus directly on him, and it makes sense. This character's there not to buff up any other creatures, but rather be upfront and personal with any potential enemies. Now, we've spoken about all their generalized mechanics, and now we need to talk about one new special one which is only available through the Eye of the Vortex, that of its campaign mechanic to hunt down and potentially eat Ariel, where you'll have 50 turns to trigger a special battle and potentially eat her. Yes, this is a timed campaign. Now, you will notice there are some other icons on the side. That's because there are 6 specific waystones. But bear in mind, you will only need to destroy 3 of these 6 waystones to be able to trigger the last event. Each of these waystones are individual settlements that can be found all throughout these northern territories. All you simply have to do is take over these settlements, which is easy enough. If you can get a fast moving campaign going and build up your forces relatively quickly, you won't have an issue. As soon as you take over the first waystone, which is relatively close to where you start, the elves of the Witchwood will be made aware of your presence, and they will send armies to strike back at you, so you best be prepared. Try and spend your food on building up these settlements, and if you can, leave a small defensive force. Taking the waystones is not just important for completing the campaign, but also the more you take, the more extra time is added to your turn limit, so you will want to be quick at taking them. But that concludes our highlight for Clan Moulder. If you'd like an extra video going into much greater detail regarding the Flesh Laboratory, let me know in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to do so. But what do you guys think on how Clan Moulder was implemented? Are you looking forward to playing them, or are you more interested in the Wood Elves? But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.